Hey everyone, let's stick with us versus her. Is it your first time here? Love the content? Hit subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed to our options trading live channel, I go live 30 minutes before market open, Monday through Friday. Link is below in the description. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are in the description to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. Both are free. If you made money today, comment below, got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. And if you could do me a favor, if you find this content of value to you, this video of value to you, hit the like button. Really helps me out. I really appreciate it. Today, I closed the day down about $70. And, you know, today was mostly a readjustment. I know my P&L looks like straight garbage, but let me explain to you kind of what happened here. You know, Apple, I will admit, Apple did get me good today, and then SPY and TLT were rolling trades. So let me kind of explain what I'm looking for tomorrow and what my plan is for some of these trades. Mine is Boeing. Boeing is basically, there's only $12 left. This is max loss. I mean, luckily I made $600 last week, so max loss, you know, I'm going to be down $400 on Boeing. Probably going to stay away from Boeing for a while and concentrate on my money makers. And my money makers are MES, SPY, and Apple, obviously, except for today I didn't make money on it. But those are the tickers that in this volatility, in this market, I have been making money on. And one thing I do want to say is we also have to be a lot slower. I'm speaking to myself here. I have to be a lot slower with my entries and my exits and really plan things out because the market has been moving like a snail. Yes, we had a little bit of volatility today towards the end of the day, but relatively, mostly all day, we maintain range. I mean, you know, the charts are a little bit ugly, but let me kind of explain to you first. Let me look at SPY first. So SPY was a rolling trade. And what I mean like that, my thesis on the market hasn't changed. Even though we've been going up, I got out, I had the 259 put, which, you know, I took a $300 loss on, and I sold that today. You know, I sold that at 9:30 this morning, which was probably the worst time ever to sell that because, you know, we started to break up here. But what my thought behind rolling into a new position is, one, I pick a further out expiration date. Sure, I take a hit up front, but as you can see here, yes, I lost $300, but since my thesis hasn't changed, I moved from the 259 put into the 261 put, and I moved it from April 1st to April 3rd. So I pushed it from tomorrow expiration. I got a better strike and I pushed a little bit higher, so that's why I'm kind of hanging on right now, because this was an adjustment trade. You know, I'm still in this trade. My thesis hasn't changed. I just rolled it higher, and yes, I did lose $300 up front because I rolled it, but I am up 230. So right now I'm down 70 on this overall position. And what I'm looking for on SPY right now is, you know, really this where it's been getting stopped out, like the 261, and you know, they shot it up today at like 263. I actually had an alert here for 263.75, you know, which was definitely going to stop me out again, and then I was going to try to roll up. But the one thing that you don't want to do with this strategy is to keep rolling, because, you know, then you keep having more losses when you roll. So, you know, ideally I only roll one time, and then I get into a, you know, if this doesn't work out, I just pretty much say I'm gonna forfeit this position. I'll get out of it for whatever cash is left, and I'll move on to a different trade, different setup, different mindset, and say, hey, you know, you're gonna be wrong, I'm gonna be wrong, you're gonna be wrong, and that's what happens, and that's okay. But that's why I rolled into that trade. And what I'm looking at here on SPY for tomorrow is really seeing what's gonna happen to this 261 level. You know, I will admit it is making higher lows in here. It is making higher lows, but on the other hand, it is still in a enormous downtrend, which we can come back down to the 240 area pretty easily. You know, I'm shooting for 250. You know, right now on this trade, my initial goal here is 254. I am targeting the 254 area because it's been bouncing around the 252 area quite a bit in the last week for intraday. But for me, on this trade, for me to exit, I'm targeting, you know, close at 257.75. I was up a couple $100 on it, but I'm looking at my original trade was to get out at 254, and that's still the mindset. So, You know, just because you're taking a loss on something doesn't mean that you need to just like figure something else out. Maybe you do. Maybe you need to. Maybe you were wrong. But on this trade, I still think that I was right. I just think I don't have the time. I didn't have the timing right, so I rolled it. That's why I wanted to have more time. That's why I don't want to go into tomorrow's expiration when theta is the highest, and this could go to zero if I'm out of the money. I didn't know it was going to close at 257. I just wanted to buy myself more time, and that's what I did. So I paid the $300 up front on that trade, and I got myself into a new position. And I'm currently up 230, and I'm net 70 on this position, down 70. That is. The other trade that I rolled as well today, and I'll get to Apple in a second because I learned some important lessons on Apple and in terms of them hunting out my stops. But now TLT was kind of a different type of situation. I was wrong on the 162 put. I've been holding the 162 put for over a week. It's been on my accounts. So what I liked about, I took whatever I had off here. I think I had like $80 left on this trade. I lost an additional $22. I just took it off. And what I was looking at, why I flipped to long on TLT is it just wasn't breaking down. It was holding the 165 area. It closed at 164.97, but it kept pushing. It kept pushing above 165. And if you're looking at the 1-year chart here, above 165, I think it's trying to consolidate in here and going to push towards 170 again. So I think that within the next couple days, we might it's going to want to push back to 170 because it's been holding pretty well. I did learn a lesson. I did lose a little bit of money on the 162 put. I lost a couple $100. And then I'm down currently, which is crazy. Down currently like $60 because I had a 50 delta and it dropped down like $1.50. So we'll see what happens here. Thankfully, the TLT didn't really cost too much. My cost on here was $295. Right now, it's going for $232. So my cost on that, I'm not risking a lot of money. And I was able to push this to April 9th instead of this week expiration. So I gave myself, again, more time for this trade to work out. Another trade that I did today is what I'm looking for going into tomorrow is Home Depot. I was already short. I've been holding this position for some time now. I had a debit spread. I was long 170 and short the 165 put spread for April 17th. And I don't know if that one's going to hit or not. So what I did was I put on another debit spread, but for next week expiration. And I don't think this option pricing is right because we closed down quite a bit. Home Depot is not as liquid, so the pricing that it calculates on here is not always true. So just be careful when you're trading something like Home Depot. Same with Costco. But Home Depot, what I'm looking for on Home Depot right now is a retracement back to 180 area and see what happens. So that's why I have I'm long 185 and short the 182.50 put right now. So I'm short. It had it was getting stopped out here like 197, 198 area. It hit 3 or 4 times, and now we're coming back down. So I'm anticipating this to come back down, especially with the reports coming out this week with unemployment and all those other numbers. That I think that we're going to let me pull that up here while we're talking about it. I'm looking at unemployment tomorrow, ADP. We have market manufacturing PMI and weekly jobless claims and non-farm payroll. So this week is going to be very report heavy, and I'm playing Home Depot in that way. Pending home sales index, there wasn't any change really this morning, but as you can see, Home Depot did shed about 4%, and the market wasn't even down that much today. So I'm looking forward to come back down to the 180 area. But I have enough time. I have till next week on this one, and then my next debit spread expires in 17 days. So we have plenty of time on Home Depot. Costco did pretty well on Costco, made 155 on here, and I did short at the 290 put. Did it pretty well. I didn't expect Costco to tank that fast. I was pretty much holding, same scenario here. It was pretty much hitting this like 291, 292 area and just kept getting rejected on the weekly. So I was trading that, and we fell pretty nicely, but it looked like it was coming back up. So I was holding up into here. It came back down, and then at close, it really laid in. I actually sold, when did I sell Costco? I sold Costco close to close there. I sold it at there was 30 minutes left to go, but in the last, I left some money on the table. Let's see if we can pull that up. I had the 290 put. As you can see, bid and ask is kind of wide. Let's see, the 290 put I sold for 665, and it was going for, this chart looks kind of weird. This is today. Oh, let's see. I don't know about that chart. I think that's broken. I don't know about that chart. Let me look on here. Let me look at the 290 put. Okay, pretty wide bid and ask, $5 and $10 here. And like Costco, you want to be really careful too. So I sold it at, well, I guess that was me. I sold it at, as you can see here, the high of the day was 665. But I think with the bid and ask, this we could have got $8, $9 for. We could have got $8, $9 for that. The last price was 603. I sold it at 665. This order here was me, and as you can see here, I sold it for 665 right there. So that order right here at 665 was me. So I actually sold it for close to high of the day. Did hit 750 this morning, but you know, they really laid in here. It dropped from 288 down to 284 within the last, you know, few minutes of like the last 20 minutes. So I sold it right here like 286. I thought it did pretty good because it bounced up. I'm like, man, I'm glad I sold it. And then they just laid into it hard. So I'm gonna watch Costco. Costco's been pretty range bound here. The range is just getting tight, and it looks like it wants to favor the upside, but it just hasn't happened yet. You know, right now is definitely forming a really nice tight triangle, and I think that is going to be pushing back up to 300. But the question is when. Right now it's been getting smacked right in the 291 area. So that is what I'm looking at on Costco. So nice. I've been making some nice money on Costco, just day trading it like that, just trading the ranges. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, so that's why I got out of it. And then going into Apple. So Apple seriously tore me a new one. I couldn't believe it. I had the 255 put. Let me just pull up the order here. So I had the 255 put. I bought it for 590, sold it for 355 like an idiot. And this is the trade that got to me today. So thankfully I made most of my money back. You know, I did close the day down a little bit, but let me get into Apple. So Apple, I had the 255 put. Let me pull this up here real quick. If you guys like the content so far, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. While I pull this up here. Okay, so I had the 255 put. You know, I sold it at 355, which was near low a day here. And the one thing that really tricked me out was I was laying into the weakness here. So I shorted it at 848, so near market open right in here. I was laying into the weakness, and it was working out, and then it all of a sudden just rips up. And I've been talking about this in my videos pretty much every night, that I'm looking for Apple to stay below 260, 258 area. And then it just kept running, and I'm like, man, they're really squeezing this. And I mentioned it this morning in the live stream that, you know, you got to be patient. If you believe in something, that they're going to try to push you to the edges and their limits. They hunt for these stop losses, and that's what they did to me. They really pushed me to the limit today, and they pushed way further than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to fail like 261 area. You know, I closed it out near like 262, like a high a day, just because I'm like, man, this thing is just not giving up, and it's just moving. It might go to 264. I don't really want to lose any more money on this. I'll take it. I was wrong. And as you can see here, if I were to have held on to that put, you know, this put, I sold it at 355. If I were to have held Apple, you know, it closed at 650. It would hit a high of 778. I would have made a couple $100s on that. I mean, it would have made $100, $150, $120 instead of taking what did I lose on this? $235 loss, because they just squeezed me out. And you know, I am still under this area. I'm probably more bearish now. I was looking to get back into it, but I thought that because I had a loss on it of that size, I'm like, I'm just gonna take a break on it, and I'll come back to Apple. But that really, I'm not going to say made me mad, but they just pushed it and then they rejected it. And I thought that was going to be the case. I just didn't expect them. I'm like, okay, well, if it goes to like 260, I can handle it. If it goes to 261, not like it, and then they just kept pushing. So that's why I got out of that trade. But right now, I do think, I'm not sure where futures are going to open up tonight. I'm recording this video a little bit earlier, but that's what I'm looking at. I'm lining up to be a little bit more bearish for the rest of the week. So far, it has been paying off. I mean, I've been up money, I've been down money, I've been break even, and the market, obviously, I haven't been trading. I've been trading against the trend, and that trend has not been working for me. But the moment that you switch long, they rip it down like this. So they were really, I think Apple was one of the worst stocks to trade if you were bearish today, because they really pushed the bears to the limit, and then they brought it back into formation, and that it's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. I guess I probably shouldn't shorted it right here. I'm glad that I did set a stop loss, because I mean, if this went up to like 268 or something, I don't want it to be like worth nothing, So that's kind of where we're at. So today was a big adjustment day for me. I rolled out of some of my losing positions, and I gave myself some more time. I was able to recoup some of those losses already through Costco and through SPY. I'm also short MES. I'm up a couple bucks on /MES right now. I shorted this around like 25.75, so I'm short that right now. I'm up a couple bucks on that as well. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If you guys watch this video to the end, comment watch to the end. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.